Hi everybody, Dan Illman, Matt Bernier, taking a look at Saturday's feature race at beautiful Del Mar. It is for 2-year-olds. It is a grade 2. It is the Best Pal Stakes. I want to remind everybody that is already a member of DRF Bets. What an opportunity. The Weekend Warrior Bonus Series. Bet $25 on one horse to win in race number 1 at Saratoga and/or Del Mar each Saturday and Sunday. You get a $10 bonus, win or lose. You can earn up to 180 bonus points, all meet. Learn more at DRF.com. Let's take a look at the field for the grade 2 Best Pal. Matt, as you see, the number 1 Instagrand, the $1.2 million 2-year-old in training purchase and 10-length debut winner at Los Al, is a deserving odds-on favorite.
Yeah, Dan, I mean, this is an exciting 2-year-old. I mean, I know we've only seen him one time, but he's already stamped himself as one of the fastest of his generation, and he's only raced once. Now, it was at Los Alamitos, so perhaps you want to approach with a slight bit of caution, but at the end of the day, I loved everything about it. He extended down the lane, he took heat early on, put everybody else away, and finished like a real racehorse. I think the other interesting thing is he already has a giant edge from a buyer standpoint. The edge is even more significant when you look at it from a time form standpoint. He earned a raw 115 rating for a time form US number. That's off the charts for any 2-year-old, let alone a debut horse. If you think he moves forward, or heck, even if he replicates that race, he's probably going to win. If he moves forward, you're probably looking at a horse that might be one of the favorites for the Breeders' Cup.
And speaking of a time form U.S. standpoint, as we throw up the pace projector, all things are gold for Instagrand. He's on an easy lead in a blue bar situation, favoring horses on or near the early lead, although I would caution that with these 2-year-old races, you might want to take the pace projector with a grain of salt. These horses are still learning how to run. Let's talk about Instagrand's most logical contender to beat him, and that's the 2 Owning. This horse, I've been impressed with the flashback young horses thus far. Owning was a debut winner for Simon Callahan at Los Alamitos. He earned a very respectable 75 buyer speed figure. I assume they're going to try to make this into a match race.
Yeah, that's kind of the way that I would imagine. I would think Instagram goes, and I think Owning is pressing him right throughout. Now, I didn't think that debut was bad at all. He was a little bit green down the lane, got a little bit drifty, but I guess the thing that I'm having such a difficult time grasping with this race anyway is it just feels like Owning would need to take a significant step forward, which is far from impossible, especially with a second-time starter, and you would need Instagram to regress, I think, pretty significantly in order to make up that difference. Down the road, maybe we're looking at a different story, but I just think right now the gap is so large between the two. I have a hard time imagining them narrowing it.
Formulator fact for the 2 Ownings trainer Simon Callahan over the past couple of years, with 2-year-old last out maiden winners, debut winners, returning in their second start on dirt, 43% winners and a $3.94 return on investment. That's the number 2 Owning. Let's move on to the number 4, Mason Dixon. This horse showed some moxie in the debut, coming from off the pace to win a $150,000 maiden claimer. There were no takers, and Doug O'Neill's going to take this horse and hope the 1 and the 2 maybe duel themselves into the ground and set things up for this late-running 2-year-old.
Yeah, and that's kind of the way I looked at that debut, where he had a pretty wicked pace to run at in that spot. Now, perhaps he gets it again here on Saturday in this race, but I'm just not totally convinced that you're going to get such a favorable setup. And even if they do throw it down, it's just a real scenario that those 2 horses are far superior to this one from an ability standpoint. But I wouldn't throw him out if you're thinking about trying to look for somebody underneath in an exotic.
The 7th place horse from that debut came back to win at Del Mar with a 70 buyer when dropped in for an $80,000 maiden claiming tag. The 5 Sparky Ville won for Jeff Bondi last time out. It was a courageous performance, although the pace likely not as fast as the one he's going to see on Saturday. But Bondi has historically excelled with 2-year-olds. Over the past 3 years, with 2-year-old last out maiden winners on dirt, we've got 31% winners, a 288 ROI. This is a nice outside post position where he can get a read on Instagram and Owning. I'm assuming he's going to be sitting in 3rd, and again, hoping a duel weakens the 2 favorites.
Yeah, that outside draw, I think you have no choice if you're Gary Stevens but to sit, let those 2 do their thing, and perhaps they take the starch out of one another and you come with a bid. I like that he's paired up those 68s. I think you're going to get a forward move here. The problem is, again, like I echoed that when talking about the Callahan horse, I just think the gap between he and Instagram is so tremendous. I have a hard time imagining him making it all up.
Keith and Kent DeZormo entered the threes. Synthesis, still a maiden after 3 lifetime starts. I'm assuming they're going to drop back early with this one, hope to make one run and get a nice piece of this $200,000 purse. Maybe on the stretch out later on down the summer and into the fall, we can keep an eye out for Synthesis.
Yeah, I mean, when I look at this pedigree, you see First Samurai, you see Bernardini on the bottom. I say he's going to probably want to run 3.5 miles. I think he's the kind of horse, if they can get a piece, they'll be thrilled, but I agree. Stretch him out in distance, maybe then we talk again.
Let's take a look at our top pick for the Grade 2 Best Pal Stakes. We're not going to go against Instagrand. He was that impressive in his debut for Jerry Hollendorfer, whose 2-year-olds just continue to fire time and time again. I think he'll dissuade owning, and I think that's how they'll finish, 1-2.
Yeah, I really can't go against that. I think it's probably going to be a bit of a merry-go-round. I will say I've been very, very impressed both in New York and Southern California with the 2-year-olds so far. There are many, many of them that are running, and they're running fast. Instagram has an opportunity now to pad that debut and back it up with a little bit more substance, beating a decent enough field and doing it away from Losal, which again can be a little bit tricky. But so far, these 2-year-olds, they're all fast.
Nice graded stakes race at Del Mar on Saturday. Want to remind DRF Bets members, get involved in this Weekend Warrior bonus series. Bet $25 on one horse to win in race number 1 at Saratoga and or Del Mar each Saturday and Sunday during the meet. Get a $10 bonus, win or lose, and you can accrue up to 180 bonus points throughout the meet. Approximate post time for the Grade 2 Best Pal, 3 o'clock Pacific on Saturday at beautiful Del Mar. Best of luck.